how to write a teaching personal statement. It's tricky, right? There's not that much guidance out there, and do you know what? When it is, it's all kind of repetitive. It just seems like people just copy off each other. So in this video and a succession of other videos that I will be publishing, we will be going into detail about how to answer this question and how to write a personal statement. So if you don't want to miss any of these videos because there's too much information and knowledge to put into just one of them, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be going through every single component of a statement, how to write it, giving you examples, giving you those tools to actually go ahead and do this yourself. So before we get into anything else, go and subscribe, like this video, and make sure to share it and save it if you find it useful. So you might have your laptop out, ready to go, and you just want to get started. You've seen a job you like, you've read the personal specification, people say use the personal specification, and nothing is happening. No words are coming out, there's no inspiration, you have no idea what to write because every point just seems obvious and you can't highlight a specific experience. So let's go into the different stages you need to do in order to get started with your personal statement. But quickly before we do that, how rude of me not to introduce myself while I get my paper out. My name is Miss Paris. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're new. On my channel you'll find tips, advice and information all about teaching, as well as being able to follow along with my own personal journey. There will be a personal journey video coming up, so stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, that is me. Right, I'll keep going now, I promise. So the first step when you are writing your personal statement is to actually understand what it is. You want to understand the purpose. You want to understand what it's meant to portray. So the first stage is to understand what a personal statement is. Now you're probably listening to this and being like, obviously it's just to get an interview, it's the first step of the job hunting process, and you're absolutely right, but let's try and dive a little bit deeper than that. You want to think about how you want to be perceived through the statement. What do you want your personality to come across like? What points do you want to convey? Is it just, yeah, I'm a good teacher and that's what I want to show? Or are you trying to show across your passion on a certain subject, a certain age group, a certain, I don't know, teacher standard? Maybe you are so passionate about supporting special educational needs, for example. Okay, and then that gives you a nice baseline for step number 2. Then you're going to go on to the self-assessment phase. This is where you decide on skills and experiences that you want to include, as well as any strengths. Now obviously you don't have to physically stand in front of the mirror and reflect like this because it doesn't feel very natural. But what I do want you to think about are your strengths, your areas of weakness, anything you want to potentially work on, because it's not seen as a negative if you are very honest and potentially vulnerable, but you show how you're being proactive. This could really work in your advantage. I also want you to think about what skills and what experiences you're going to specifically mention, okay? Because if you just say, right, I've got a year of experience, maybe you're in ECT 1, maybe you're in ECT 2, so maybe you've got 2 to 3 years experience, you can't say every single lesson. So you're going to have to isolate specific lessons that you think demonstrated a point very effectively. Let's say your point is that you always create engaging lessons. Think of a specific lesson that was very engaging, and why was it engaging and what was the impact. Okay, this is all to be done before you even get started, because I don't want you to get to step number 3 about crafting your personal statement and have to wing it on the go. Because when you wing it on the go, it doesn't flow smoothly, it doesn't read well, it probably won't be written effectively because it hasn't been planned in advance. Imagine if you were delivering a lesson and you did the starter and then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna wing the input. Now I'm gonna wing the model. Now I'm going, well, winging the model is okay, but let's say you do that and then you go, right, now I'm gonna wing what they're gonna do. it's just going to be messy. It's going to be chaotic. It's probably not going to be your best work, is it? So self-assessment is important. Step 3 is obviously crafting your statement. This is the bulk of where the writing is going to come in. This is also where you're going to think about your structure. And finalizing content. Normally this would be the most overwhelming stage, but actually because of what you did in the self-assessment, you have most of your content already. Now it's about effectively writing each paragraph using the PEAL formula. This stands for point, evidence, explain, and link. I have a whole other video on this, which I will link in the description below, as well as a PEAL handbook if you're watching this thinking, what on earth are you talking about? Remember, with each of these stages, I'm going to go into more detail in later videos. So if you think you're not giving us much value, Annalise, don't worry, more will be coming. This is just the summary. This is the start of the succession of videos. So don't think I'm, shortchanging you, because it is coming. Then we're going to make sure that our statement is personalized. So you want to think about values, vision, ethos. You want to think about USPs, so unique selling points of the school. Is it that they're a forest school and they love outdoor learning and they love to encourage cross-curricular links? Is it that in secondary they are very well equipped, they have the latest technology or equipment or facilities available to them? Is it that actually they have specialist teachers and that you are very keen on geography and you'd love to be a specialist teacher too, and that's why you are aiming to be head of department in geography in a few years' time? Something like that. What is it? But it's not just then about shoving that information in and leaving it. You need to link it to yourself. You need to make sure it aligns with you. Otherwise, it's the same as not putting it in the first place. So don't take the personalization as an easy fill in the gap exercise, because it's not. It needs to align with you, and you need to make that clear, not just in writing, but so that it's applicable throughout the exercises. Then you're going to go on to my speciality, which is editing and refining. This is where you proofread, check your purpose and whether it meets it. This is where you are going to check your spag and your language use. Okay, you're going to look at your language use. Is it negative or is it positive? Does it have a positive twist? Your spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Doesn't matter if you're not applying to be an English teacher, you need to make sure you are writing accurately. And you also need to check your purpose. So go all the way back to understand. Okay, this, I made a mistake. I wasn't meant to write that, but never mind, we'll ignore that. What do you want to portray? What is the purpose of it? How do you want to portray your personality? Have you effectively done this? And then you also want to just proofread. Check that it makes sense. Check that the content is powerful. And then, like I said, finito. That is all I'm going to cover for today. That is basically the outline, the journey that you are going to take with your personal statement. If you like this video, again, please don't forget to like, comment any questions you have, share it, all that jazz. Because basically, if you find it helpful, it's more than likely other people in the same boat are going to find it helpful too. And it also means a lot to me. So I will see you soon for the next one, as well as personal journey video coming up. So do stay tuned for that, and I will see you very soon. Bye.